to MandieNRG with none other than me, Mandie. Yay, good stuff. So, as you can tell by the title of this video, today we are going to be talking about Pam'y and my favorite tracks by Pam'y, real name being Alessia di Boni. But before we get to the content, if you're new here, I welcome you. I am Mandie, and this is my channel. If you so enjoy the content by the end of this video, I do strongly recommend you subscribe. The button's going to be down in this lower corner here for you to click. Yay. If you enjoyed this video by the time all is said and done, give it a thumbs up. Helps with the analytics, makes me feel better about myself. And when all is said and done with this video, please write down below in a comment your favorite song by Pam'y. For all intents and purposes, I am sticking to Pam'y tracks, Pam'y only tracks. For those of you new to Eurobeat, Pam'y has released many tracks over the years with SCP. Her first song being Dancin' Alone from Super Eurobeat Volume 148 in 2004. She performed in Japan in 2014 alongside Ace for the Super Eurobeat Volume 230 event. Pam'y has had a couple of songs that have appeared in Initial D, one of which being So Fragile, which appeared in Initial D 4th stage. Another song by Pam'y called Once Upon a Time appeared in Initial D Arcade Stage 6, double Ace, but not Ace from SCP. No. And yeah, we got jokes here. We got bad jokes here. Yeah. Pam'y was first noticed on the Super Eurobeat series with her second song released by SCP on Super Eurobeat Volume 152 called Livin' in the Night. This, as far as fans that follow the Super Eurobeat series, was the song that got her attention, per se. It appeared on a couple of different albums. It is probably, as far as Super Eurobeat releases go, or AVEX releases go, is probably her most successful track. As far as mainstream popularity or mainstream play, So Fragile, Fragile, if you watch A Christmas Story. More jokes. So Fragile and Once Upon a Time are definitely her more played tracks. Pam'y is best described as having songs that tend to be a bit more calming or a bit more soothing. It's Eurobeat, so I use those terms very lightly, but her voice is more feminine, obviously, and gentle sounding. When being put on a song, Pam'y seems to typically sing on tracks for SCP that have a more trance-like sound or trance-like angle to them. It's something a lot of people have observed. As far as sound goes for Super Eurobeat artists, it is definitely something that sets her songs apart from other female Eurobeat singers. I would say Pam'y is the female J. Lear from SCP, but she precedes J. Lear. So, yeah. Now that we got the basic background done here on Pam'y, let's talk about the reason we are here today, which is because I've been listening to a lot of SCP Pam'y music, and I've got a top 3 list for you guys. Yes! The first song I want to discuss is actually a honorable mention, if you will, because when I do these top songs videos, I do try to focus in on specifics with the artist, like their solo tracks. However, I feel it would be a real shame to the genre to not discuss another song that has her in it that I love so much. I could discuss more, but I won't. That song is Inside My Soul, which is by Ace and Pam'y, and appeared on Super Eurobeat Volume 231. It was performed at the Super Eurobeat Volume 230 release party in Japan. Ace and Pam'y being there, singing it. I'll have the video probably linked below. This song is just a lot of good old Eurobeat fun from SCP. It honestly feels like a song more made for Ace than for Pam'y, but as far as a duet goes, I think their voices mesh really well together, and it's a really nice song. Hey, hey, hey! It's, oh, beautiful sounding. Immediately following the chorus, and during the intro. It's a lot of fun. It's incredibly catchy. How can you not at least be entertained by this song? It is a good solid SCP track, but we are gonna move on now to other songs. Also, wasn't Pam'y in Horror Fantasy as part of Scream Team? Let's not forget that. Moving on. Since I've already mentioned this song in passing, let's talk about my first track I would like to discuss, which is Once Upon a Time from Super Eurobeat Volume 172. Once Upon a Time came out in 2006, and as I already mentioned previously as part of my introduction to Pam'y in this video, it's probably one of her most recognized songs, alongside So Fragile. Once Upon a Time is this really pretty, melodic, trance-sounding Eurobeat song. It just flows. The chorus is really elegant. Can you say elegant with Eurobeat? But it sounds elegant. The production by SCP is very solid. Her vocals land perfectly in this song. She has a certain tone and a certain use of her voice. Of course, it's a voice. Explanations. Yay. This truly feels like a song that was made for Pam'y to sing. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if this song was made by Stefano, Evelina, and Christian with Pam'y in mind, but if it was, to me, it sounds like it should have been, because this song just lands perfectly with her vocals. If you've not heard Once Upon a Time, I don't know what Eurobeat songs you've been listening to, because it's pretty well out there in the world. It's garnished a lot more views on YouTube than many Eurobeat songs do. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it. Once Upon a Time is a very pretty track. Next up, let's talk about Koi no Yuken, which roughly translates from Japanese to English as like a premonition of love, or like a predestined notion that you're going to love somebody. Phrases don't translate well often, or at least the sentiment in them, so we're just going to stick with that definition. Koi no Yokan was released on Super Eurobeat Volume 232 in 2015. I'm guesstimating it was made toward the end of 2014 because of its release the way it was in 2015. Part of what I like so much about Koi no Yokan is the fact that it seems like a real step outside of typical Pam'y music. I've discussed here that there's a certain trance, a certain elegance, a certain use of her voice in pretty much all the songs that Pam'y sings. And it's pretty and it's nice, don't misunderstand me. However, Koi no Yokan takes it in a totally different direction. The song is much more bubbly, it feels a lot more pop-like. It has an air of something I would almost argue that if made with A Beat C or Go-Go's music, that Domino or Go-Go Girls would sing. It's bubbly. It's a step outside of typical Pam'y music. And obviously I don't hate it. I recommend you listen to it if you haven't heard it. You know, it was released a couple of times on a couple of CDs. If you feel so inclined, I do recommend you buy it from Bandcamp from SCP. It is a really fun, well-made song. Now let's talk about my favorite song by Pam'y.
What is that?
We could probably never guess.
So a lot of our tastes in music come down to nostalgia, or they come down to memories associated with songs that make us so fond of them or so drawn to them. The song from Pam'y that I've never shaken, that has always been a song from her that I go to, is Livin' in the Night, which first appeared on Super Eurobeat Volume 152 back in 2004. I've said this with other SCP productions before, and I'll probably say it again. Sometimes it's just the chance to hit something so perfectly and to make an excellent production. To me, Living in the Night is the perfect combination of Alessia's vocals and the production by Stefano, Evelina, and Christian. The combination of these two elements into that trance-like sound that the Pam'y alias carries with it. I've said this about SCP before on a couple of songs, because SCP, as far as the Eurobeat label goes, is incredibly consistent with their sound. And they do have different sounds applied to different artists. It's very clear when you listen to their music. In the case of Pam'y, Livin' in the Night is their prime example of the mix of her vocals and production by Stefano, Evelina, and Christian. It is just the perfect combo of the two. Can I get my hands to properly go? You guys, Living in the Night also has an excellent bridge connecting different segments of the song. The production on this is off the charts. SCP has an incredibly consistent track record with their themes with their vocalists and their sounds with their vocalists. Alessia di Boni has a very sweet, pretty, melodic voice, and while this is one of her earlier songs with SCP, it is incredibly well made. As far as Eurobeat fans that actually buy the Super Eurobeat series of CDs, or did, because the series ended, this is probably one of the most prevalent songs, even more so than the two initial D ones. I would argue this is probably the song most people think of with Pam'y. So those are my top 3 Pam'y songs. Now for those of you that don't listen to or purchase the Eurokudos series from SCP, which can be purchased on Bandcamp, Amazon, and I believe iTunes as well, there are a couple of songs by Pam'y that have not appeared on the Super Eurobeat series that are available on Eurokudos. I do suggest that if you like Pam'y's vocals, if you like SCP's productions, I do recommend you hop over and obtain some of those songs. They also have instrumentals of a lot of her songs available, if that's your jam for some karaoke-based reason. SCP, making our dreams come true with Eurobeat, one release at a time. Okay guys, well that wraps up this video for today. As I referenced earlier in this video, guys, write down below in a comment your favorite song by Pam'y or Alessia di Boni and why that song is your favorite. She has a lot of really nice melodic trance sounding Eurobeat, and she has a decent portfolio of work for the genre since she got involved in 2004. Just throwing that out there into the universe. Keep it classy, guys, and in the meantime, I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!